Hi guys, welcome back to Blockchain Army, the leading media agency on the space that aims to promote the adoption of blockchain technology for many projects. I'm Kristen and I'll be the host for our live section today. And just a reminder that we're broadcasting from our Blockchain Army YouTube channel. So if you're new here, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications for other interesting videos that are coming up. And as usual, we will host two interesting giveaways. The first one is the pre-live giveaway. That's where I'm gonna pick five lucky winners, by the end of this live. And the second one is the in-live giveaway, which usually known as the live AMA question, the live Q&A. So that's where I'm gonna pick five best questions or comments from the live chat. And those five people will also gain for themselves the reward of our giveaway as well. And the total reward of the giveaways are $200. So don't forget to stay tuned and look forward for that until the end. Today we're welcoming the CTO from Xsigma. So Alex, are you ready? Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, so would you like to introduce about yourself a little bit?
My name is Alex Lebed. I'm a CTO of Xigma Labs, a subsidiary of ZK International, Nasdaq traded company. And yeah, happy to be in your video MMA. It's, I guess, my first video MMA format I've ever been. So a little bit nervous.
That's fine. So before we get deeper into the project, would you like to tell us about the vision of
Xigma.
Xigma, sorry.
Yeah, so how it structurally looks like, there is this ZK International Corporation, which does a lot of stuff, and they start doing like Internet of Things and naturally move to the blockchain, I believe in 2017, around that. And they open this experimental lab, which is trying new stuff, like on a new DeFi, like new finance primitives known as DeFi. And the core vision is to try to bridge the gap between the classical finance and this innovation finance known as DeFi. And I guess it's a unique value proposition because there are a lot of very big, cool projects, like let's say Coinbase, right? So Coinbase is like a super huge, super innovative and stuff like that. Sigma unable to compete with this project, of course, but what it able to do, it able to bring first hand, like what the first world DeFi, where D stands for decentralization. Like there is no backdoor, it's not custodial and stuff like that. So it's a real blockchain DeFi project, but from corporations which usually do something like centralized. So it's uh, ideally trying to be best of two worlds. One of them is a centralized trusted entity, Nasdaq traded, and another one is not custodial DeFi, where D for decentralization projects, and to bridge the gap. This is kind of like general vision, and all current projects are an attempt of this implementation of such visions.
That's perfect. So can you tell the audience more about like the platform and how can users join that to process?
Yeah, there are several projects. So I guess the goal of this MMA is to cover stablecoin DEX primary. And what stablecoin DEX is, like, there are lots of stablecoins right now in the market. Like how a market looks like for people, just as a reminder, there is a Bitcoin which worth like half of all cryptocurrency. And there is Ethereum, like, Bitcoin on steroids, which can do all these smart contracts, and everything else it just revolves around this too. And all market behaves like a derivative essentially of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes down, everything goes down, except assets which does not correlate. And the most famous asset is dollar. And on blockchain, we have a special blockchain dollars which call stable coins. It's like dollars or euros on a blockchain. And right now, it's kind of a lot of them, but not that much as you think. There are less than 6% of all cryptocurrency market cap are held in a stable coins. The biggest one is USDT and USDC, and there are like one from a Binance and one from Ether and stuff like that. And majority of these stable coins are centralized. What it means, what despite they held on a Ethereum decentralized blockchain, which cannot be frozen,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Stable coin itself can be frozen. Why? Because how it works, you have a centralized corporation like a Coinbase or a Bitfinex, and what they do, they promise to redeem your ERC20. It's a name of tokens on Ethereum called ERC20. You can redeem it for dollars, but they can just stop doing that because they don't like it. So it's a risk of possession of these stable coins. And there are new type of stable coins like a MakerDAO DAI, which is as good as with USDT, USDC, but cannot be frozen at all. It just backed not by corporation, but a special smart contract which held Ether, like it is coin on Ethereum, as a collateral, and it cannot be frozen. So all wallets kind of unstoppable. But unfortunately, absolute majority of stable coins out of 100, I believe, $70 billion right now market cap of stable coins, 96% are centralized. So it's a risk. And what Sigma does here is trying to, basically do a stablecoin swap. Similar to Curve, but with much easier farming technique and a governance. Basically, you can exchange one stable coin like a USDT to another stable coin like a DAI with easy access, and also there are some mechanics like a cashback, like ability to use this governance token called SIG to claim these fees from exchange, and it's available not only on a website but from one exchange aggregator. In our project, I personally work on called Stable Unit. It's kind of I am a contributor. It's an attempt of doing this DAI analog, but which use collateral to generate profit and redistribute it back to every single user. So it's like two projects I'm currently working on, and they very complementary. But Sigma works on an NFT platform as well. It's in collaboration with a Maxim magazine. It's like a analog of a Playboy, and this NFT market is also quite huge. So what Sigma is trying to do is to fuse these two distinctive type of assets like NFT and ERC20, and make it interchangeable and bring best of the two worlds. Does it make sense, or do you have any questions which I can cover?
I think that's pretty much some of the whole vision and like the picture, the big picture of X Sigma, and I think people have got a grip about like where it's heading to. So next up, I would like to know about like the team members of X Sigma. So how many members are there that are working with you right now? And like how do they contribute? Like what are their positions in the whole like business model of X Sigma?
Well, the current employees are listed on the website of a lab, xsigma.com. I didn't check it for a while, so I don't know whom like lab is hiring right now exactly. So I believe Solidity developers are always in need. So it's a common practice because like bull run hype just like vacuum cleaned all this pool of talent on the market. It's ridiculous. Complicated to hire like Solidity developers, especially good ones. So if any of you know such people, please refer to us. We're happy to share refer bonus, which is usually half of monthly salary or one third to half of monthly salary, and which is substantial salaries in
Mm.
Solidity. So if anyone who watch knows such people, please recommend and get your huge refer bonus. But there are not only developers but also marketers. So unfortunately, the policy of ZK what they do not share internal organization details. So I have to obey what they policy and cannot really tell. But I work with developers directly, and there is like a big marketer teams of community managers and like PR people and stuff like that. So like a whole spectrum. And team, I believe it's uh, last time I checked, it was probably like around 20 people in total, but it's right now maybe more because of his NFT and derivative. So
Right.
I'm working on a DEX on that.
Yeah, so basically you guys are still on in like the progress of building up the whole team to be stronger and like yeah, basically like
No,
more
team is
professional. Yeah.
built. It's a team is long since built, but it's a way to kind of enrich our development capacity because, like,
Yeah.
as anyone on the market, we are looking for more
Yeah.
Solidity developers. So, and because your community blockchain army is quite
Yeah.
large, you might know someone, you might post it on a Twitter, and yeah. So, if you refer someone who end up working with Lab, we're happy to share a very good bonus, which is like well, salary are significant, so beware, but bonus is also significant.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, don't hesitate to reach out to them. So like for the next topic I want to reach is the tokenomics of X Sigma. So basically, what is your main, like what is your governance token? And like how can it be used in the project? Like what are the main utilities of it?
Mhm. Well, so the taxonomy made there is a governance token called SIG token, and it's a finite supply token. And how it works, every block it means a little bit. It's like a Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, the formula is exactly like Bitcoin, but instead, every 10 minutes it blocks. It means every minute, every 4 blocks on Ethereum blockchain. And yeah, so all minted SIG token goes to the special contract, which splits it in 3 parts. One part goes for treasury, where DAO controls. We call it Grow Fund, where basically all our SIG token holder is able to vote what it used for. Right now, process of voting in a development because like turnout governance is very complicated thing, and if you just go like a free ability to vote and propose anything, people just propose, hey, let's do farming 3 times more profitable. And everyone votes, yeah, let's do it. But you cannot implement it, right? So we're working on how to structure it and to make proposal more actionable. But yeah, coming back to the economy, so it splits on 3 parts. One part of a treasury, one part, largest part is protocol incentive, known as a farming and all our bonuses, and part goes to the corporation, ZK. And this SIG token has a bunch of utilities. Well, a part of a voting, you can claim transaction fees which accumulated by stablecoin DEX and exchange it for SIG token. Last time we redistributed was $650,000, and yeah, and on a next week, the announcement to launch it on a Binance Smart Chain,
Mm,
which is substantially cheaper to work with, and
yeah.
yeah, so it's a good opportunity, I guess, for people to try it on a cheaper blockchain than on Ethereum. And yeah, and very different utility for SIG tokens, but basically the plan what community propose, how they see proper collaboration between NFT platform, how NFT get used in a DEX, and how SIG token get used inside of NFT platform. But what is might be interesting for occasional user is well, farming for stablecoins, because as you know, stablecoins like swaps does not have impermanent loss. For DeFi newcomers, what impermanent loss is when you provide liquidity to Uniswap or PancakeSwap, for example. If it's volatile assets, you might get situation when despite your accumulated fees, just because the like a balance between assets you provided changed, you might lose money. So in stablecoin swap, you do not have this risk. Stablecoins does not have impermanent loss. It's works different way. I wouldn't go deep how math works here, but what important, if you have like some amount of dollars on a blockchain, you can just put in a pool. It's decentralized. It's not custodial, and while money held in this pool, this liquidity is used for exchanges, and people get rewarded in these governance tokens. So it's might be it's very low risk, and there is a good opportunity to get some rewards out of that. But well, it's any blockchain, so it's not investment advices. So do your own research, read the code. Although code was audited, like gets a best practice in a blockchain.
Mm,
Know what we're doing. Mhm.
yeah. So how are the tokenomics distributed? Like can you tell in details, like in numbers?
Oh yeah. So a finance supply was like exactly like a Bitcoin, 21 million. However, like a community decide and upgrade protocol, so 30% of these tokens get burned. So right now the finance supply is limited by 16,816,816. So basically 21
Mm-hmm.
million minus 30%. And this is theoretical maximum of SIG tokens which can be minted ever. So far, minted, I can actually give link to the statistics exactly, or like listeners can get it in app.xsigma.fi, and there are like what you call it tab with stats, and I believe well it's opening right now for me. It says what about 9 million tokens get minted in about 10 months. So because of rate of minting gets lowered, like a Bitcoin has get halved, you would expect that less and less new token gets minted. And current market supply, it's basically available tokens for trade is about 5 million tokens only. So the half of tokens got minted, and minting speed gets lowered, and half of these tokens actually held in different contracts for yield rewards and stuff like that. So there is less tokens available for trade. And the bridging mechanism is still under development, so we are finalizing details. But if it appears on a different chain, like a Binance Smart Chain or a Polygon or whatever L2 solutions like Arbitrum in the future, the finance supply is held through. So it's limited by 16.8 million SIG tokens. Is what you ask, or you were looking for different numbers?
No, that's exactly what I'm going for. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's pretty much a very reasonable and like a wise distribution of a tokenomics model. And apart from that, how safe is like your security system? Like how confident you are in talking about the safety and like how can you guarantee that for your users?
Mhm. Well, is any blockchain project in the space we acting on best standards of a DeFi protocol? So basically, all codes get peer reviewed inside of team. After that, it get like tested like inside of a testnet. After that, we publish the code for auditors company. So we have a two auditing company, HashX and Hacken, who audited the code. And on Ethereum, we didn't have any problems during almost a year, and more than $1 billion volume got traded on Exigma protocol, and about 144 million as was maximum amount of liquidity was held in the protocol, so without a single incident. However, it's very important to understand what like nobody can give you 100% of guarantee. It's always like a risk reward
Mm,
balance, and we did certain actions on our side how to maximize the security, but nobody can give a 100% guarantee. So do your own research, check Solidity smart contracts. They all verify, they all in blockchain before you use. It's a general rule of thumb, because like even like a famous protocols like a compound, right, get exploited, so nobody can guarantee is what 100% secure. But the track record so far, $1 billion, about a year, like a billion, 9 months, 10 months existing on a mainnet, two auditing company, not a single incident. So this is like data that we operate, but use it in your own risk, of course.
yeah, I think safety and like security has raised numerous like concerns from the community, from the blockchain community in specific, since a lot of like projects have been scammed or like hacked, and that really does uh, do a matter of like a lot of people in the market. So I think by your answer, the majority of the community who are watching this right now would be a lot more comforted, and they pretty much are reassured with that. So next up, for the roadmap of X Sigma, where have you guys been, and like how did the business going, and what are the next goals that you guys are most focused on right now?
Right. Yeah, from business numbers, well, as I mentioned, like more than $1 billion trading volume on a DEX. Last time they distributed $650,000 in a fee. As a farming reward, it was distributed, I believe, around $26 million worth of
Mm-hmm.
SIG tokens as a reward.
Mm-hmm.
There are two new projects launched as NFT marketplace in collaboration with Maxim magazine and derivative platform, which is like semi-stealth mode. So I'm not sure I can speak about that. As for internal profit numbers, Foundation didn't cash out a single token yet. So Sigma didn't sell the tokens they held under the long vesting and vesting. Yeah, so they didn't sell those tokens. What else? From business perspective, I'm just not sure what I can share because again, I'm a developer. I'm just writing Solidity code, so I might not know like how much money was spent on the marketing and stuff like that. So it's I would probably be the wrong point of reference. But the business, yeah, I see Ari ask in the chat like, what are ways what Sigma generates profit and
Oh,
stuff like that.
that's for the later section, the live Q&A.
Ah, okay, so it's
Yeah.
already a question. I see. Yeah, so this is what was done so far. And on a way to do the new version on Binance, which is kind of prerequisite to have a version 2 on Ethereum, which held different reward structure, like because blockchain space involved. And I personally like Temple DAO project and like Olympus DAO, which do like interesting farming techniques. So we would definitely experiment with this direction as well. And there are some process to well start doing like governance on way bigger level than we did before. So the community get engaged and propose some things to solve this problem with collaboration between NFT platform and the SIG token, because it's naturally what you would like to expect SIG token be used in this NFT platform, and these NFT tokens get somehow accounted in a usage on a DEX platform. So, but because it's a community who have to decide, we have to well engage community and do this mechanism how they can be heard, how can they propose without getting into populism area where we have experiment. Because again, like we try to launch with Sigma launch with experiment with DAO voting, and people vote, yeah, we like to have 3x reward, but it's wasn't clear how to implement the technique, unfortunately. So it's a process which seems very simple, but in practice very complicated how to achieve reliable communication with a community who are able to own protocol, but own responsibly and like propose things like either actionable so you can just execute them, or at least not out of a place, but something what can be done. Yeah. So this is what we done and where X Sigma is going.
Yeah. So, last but not least, for the community side, since like to be successful in like one project, you need to have a lot of like support from the community, from the users. So, how do you plan on to like attract more new users, more, um, just like more access to your platform, and also to keep the loyal users to stay for the long term?
Yeah, very, very fair question. So basically, it's kind of, I would answer two questions instead of one, if I might. So it's not only about community building, but marketing in general. So Xigma collaborates with like news media, opinion leader, influencers, and community like yours. Great community, large community, vibrant and active. So there are some activities to launch with staking platform and partnership with different DeFi protocols. With like
Mm-hmm.
as a so DeFi wars versus DeFi partnership. So we're like
Mm-hmm.
around 10, I think. The board told me partnership held right now for a new launch, and Xigma just been featured by Crypto Hustle on YouTube, well, which is great. And as for community, we're like two community full-time community managers who like doing that cover it almost 24 by 7. and deliver ideas and suggestions for community to the core team, so everyone can be heard. This is how X Sigma helps this a community building challenge.
Yeah. So I think we've covered quite enough about like the general information of X Sigma, and this will be where we're gonna move to the next part. And I'll pick 5 questions from the community to ask Alex right here. So first of all, the that's such a cute penguin. Hi. So for the first question, what are the ways that X Sigma generates profits, revenue to maintain your project, and what is its revenue model? How can it make benefit win-win to both investor and your project?
Well, again, I cannot speak from investment point of view because I'm not appropriate person, and no legal advices nor investment advices can give. But taxonomy will explain it in a white paper. So what white paper says, what where is a finance supply governance token, and the protocol itself is basically a DeFi product which generates profit based on a fee. So you do swap, you pay a little fee, and if you integrate well enough, you have a substantial traffic to basically you attract liquidity from users and you give users your governance token. You use this liquidity to facilitate trading, and this trading generates fee. This fee goes in a special contract, action contract. We postponed on Ethereum because it was super expensive to use, but on a Binance Smart Chain, it would be
Mm,
active. So you can use this governance token and exchange it for fees back. So it's one of utility for a governance token and part of this Sigma revenue model. Yeah, that's what I can
mm,
answer.
yep. Thank you for the answer. So for our second question, I see on the website the DEX can provide the cheapest transactions. How can X Sigma make them so cheap?
Yeah, so there are ways how we can subsidize transactions. So essentially, what we give is similar to cashback on a credit card. So when you do something on a store, you might get later after the cashback. So something what one inch does. So this is what we are announced to do on a Binance as well. It's not very expensive anyway, but it's I guess a great way to facilitate further like engagement of a community.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
nothing magical.
Mm. Yeah, I see that you guys have found for yourself like the suitable, mechanism. So that's one of like the most unique selling point for the project. So for the third question, is X Sigma gonna expand marketing promotion? And if so, can you tell us how you are planning on doing so? Are you, for example, going to hire market maker?
Market maker, I cannot speak about that. I'm not even sure it's legal to hire them, but there are marketing activities which I mentioned like before, like this YouTube mention and a community building and a partnership. So I guess the best way to answer is to facilitate importance of this DeFi partnership and mutual farmings, like what Frax, for example, successfully did. They partner with Temple Olympus DAO and all forks of Olympus DAO, and they made X4 or market couple stablecoin and stuff. So it shows like what how you can do it successfully, and the challenge is well just implement it successfully with a partnership with different DeFi projects. I think it's way more important than to do some market making. And basically, if project have a traction, project have a utility, and users use it, so you will see uh, well, you'll see this by numbers. Everything
Mm,
else, I think that it's less important. But from a marketing point of view, as I mentioned, there are a lot of activities. There is a whole dedicated team working on that, and this MMA with like a great channel, Blockchain Army, one example of such activity.
great. So for the fourth question, so this person asks, are there any special benefits for long-term users of the project? Mechanism to accumulate points or promote tokens?
For long-term users, yeah. So if you're long-term users, probably have liquidity in a pool, so your farming have to be substantial already.
Yeah.
There are benefit for early users on a Binance Smart Chain version of a protocol. So basically, if you provide liquidity, you have a X2 for the first 2 weeks bonuses of and like when you first user, like liquidity is low, so you have a high part of existing liquidity. So your APR is especially high. This
Mm-hmm.
is what is well, like Sigma existing community are people who first know about such opportunity, so if they use
Mm-hmm.
it, they have more than sufficient rewards. As what the board decided.
Um, so to the last question that we have, Ariana, can you pick? Yeah, thank you. So this one asks, what are some of the major challenges you and your team has encountered in trying to achieve great success on your project?
Well, a lot of challenges to overcome. Marketing is super expensive and notoriously complicated. But economy is super complicated to design, and nobody knows whether it's gonna work before or not. And there are always time constraints. You have to implement it and you have to verify it, so you just don't have a time to do all of those things. Hire talents is a mercifully complicated part. Like I interview probably 30 people, and there are very shortage of talents in a DeFi space, despite everyone speaks, yes, there's so many
Mm-hmm.
blockchain developers and stuff like that. When you
Yeah,
interview and realize they didn't deploy any mainnet contract or they don't know basic, it's why do you lie in CV? What's the point of this? And you realize what like people who are capable to do it, or they either outside of DeFi, so you have to teach them from scratch, or
yeah,
they already in a space and they doing something else. So you're in a position that you, if you have to deliver something in a very short time constraint, like you have to do it with existing resources, which are super limited and spread on like a few projects. So this is the biggest complication, implementation and time. This
right.
is challenge, and I still encourage everyone who watch this video. If you know any good developers, please refer. It's will be very profitable for you if we end up to work with them. And also, we're a bunch of projects who are looking for talent, so very high chance that we will find a place for them.
Yeah, so it's like an open opportunity for everyone. So I think we have done with like the all like the question, the Q&A, and we have pretty much learned a lot more about X Sigma. So next up would be the last part of our life today. So this is where I'm gonna open lucky wheel, and then I'll pick five lucky winners, and those winners will be receiving the prize of the giveaway today. So yeah, let's get it started. Oh, congratulations, Alex. Is it fine if you can reward them with the cute penguin that you had? Oh,
Well, actually, we have a pack of stickers,
names were shown.
a stable unit community. Like where is like a kind of what do you call it? Like unstoppable profit yielding stablecoin, which is community owned. So if Sigma owned by
Yep.
like this DAO, stable unit is like owned by everyone. And whereas pack of stickers. So if you join, yeah, I'll send you. Congrats with this sticker. So should I read these questions, or what is action required from my side? Should we reward
Oh
them? Or...
no, we're actually done with like the questions, and so later on, Marmy will post a tweet of how to claim your prize later on our Twitter account, and then guys, just don't forget to look forward for that because you don't want to miss this chance. And right now, Alex, do you have any last words for our audience right here?
Yeah, I mean, it's very excited time right now. So for a lot of people, it seems what DeFi hype is over and we're is already too late, to go to join the game. Well, it's not true. It was
Mm,
seems exactly the same like in 2020. It was seems exactly the same like in 2018, like, blockchain is over. It's never is. And it's like right now, whole blockchain space is like less than $3 trillion. I mean, gold, just gold, like one of assets, right? It's like 5x of this. And the whole finance is more than 100x of that. And like this DeFi space is something what undeniably gonna lead to a financial world. And we see that bankers, like a big super conservative corporation, already consider to work it in one in our way. Largest
Mm-hmm.
and super conservative like hedge funds already held their Bitcoin and they shit, and they an account, and it says not not too late. I would say we're very early in the space, and there are massive opportunities are coming, and especially DAO related, NFT related. Not NFT as a JPEG on chain, but NFT as a representation of your social capital. So I'm very looking forward
Mm-hmm.
to see how the space will expand, and waiting my 100x on Bitcoins. Yeah, and was happy to, well, be touched with a great community of blockchain army. If anyone have a questions, feel free to ask me on a Twitter. It's libit2045. I happy to answer any questions anytime.
Perfect. So yeah, as him say, don't forget to follow up with the social media of X Sigma. We have posted all the links on our description box right here. And guys, just follow up and get your chance into X Sigma because blockchain is not the future, is the present. And guys, join our Telegram group, follow the Twitter, and receive more updated news on like IDO information or like other highlighted projects and crypto news, and like a lot of mini games or giveaways are given out as well. So from now, I just want to say thank you all for staying tuned and watching this live AMA, and I want to see you in the next video as well. So let's say goodbye.